recognize that mailer object. Okay, so what we can do is to practice what we call inversion of control. You can read more about this in the internet, but this concept of inversion of control means that your classes do not instantiate the classes they depend on by themselves. Rather, they expect that the classes that they depend on, the objects that they depend on, should be given to them. The benefit of this approach is that you are not tied to a particular implementation of a certain class or functionality. You can create interchangeable or pluggable implementations immediately. Like in this case, we can do our unit testing with a mock object version, which doesn't really do anything. But in actual implementation, we will put in to quota reminder the actual mailer object, one that's really capable of doing SMTP. Okay, so how do you do that? Okay, so let's say we have a mailer object equals new mock mailer. Okay, simple test has this convention wherein mock objects are given the prefix of mock. Later, we will create a mailer object, and simple test is going to auto-generate for us this mock mailer object. Okay, so given that we already have a mailer object, we can inject this dependency inside the reminder class. New quota reminder, and we pass this on to the constructor. Okay, so whoa, you can see that this one would change. Okay, so we notice that we make use of reminder, the quota reminder class in all our test cases. So simple test also has a facility called setup. The setup function or method is one that is executed for every test method. Okay, so this looks like a good candidate for that. So why don't we just make our objects as instance variables of our quota reminder. So we have var mailer, var reminder, and we initialize them using setup. This mailer equals new mock mailer, and this reminder equals new quota reminder, this mailer. So as you can see, we inject our mailer into our quota reminder, and then we just change these. Okay, so this is what we call the refactor stage. We're changing how our this time we're refactoring our test class. Sometimes you're refactoring your test code. Okay, so it just retrieves the reminder object from the instance. Okay, and we don't need this. Oh, we'll just make use of the instances. Okay, this mailer, this reminder. Okay. Next thing here is that let's complete our test case. Okay, so again, we'll be giving users to it, and then we want to call, let's say, a process user method in our quota reminder, and that process user method will in turn determine if the user is to be notified, and if the user is to be notified, send a message. Okay, so what do? We set up our expectations for our mock object. An expectation is something that should be fulfilled. If it's not fulfilled, then there's going to be a test failure. So in this case, we will tell mailer, our mock object, okay, we will coach this mailer object. We say, hey, expect that a send message method will be called, and it will pass to you joe@mango.com. Okay, so you pass those parameters as an array. Okay, and then we get the actual user. Okay, why don't we just copy Joe here? Copy Joe. Some people would even go to the extent of creating a method for Joe, but for simplicity, let's do it. Okay, so now we say reminder, process user, $user. Okay, so we expect our process user method to actually determine whether Joe should be sent an email or not. And if the process user thinks that Joe should be sent an email, process user will call the send message method of the mailer. Now we're saying to mailer that, okay, expect that your send message method will be called. If it doesn't, then say an error. Okay, so that's good. And then finally, we say to mailer, okay, you tally things. Okay, just make sure that all your expectations have been fulfilled. Okay, sounds simple enough. But okay, getting this thing to run will be a lot of work for us now. Okay, mock mailer is not found. So key here is for us to create a mailer object, a mailer class. PHP, I'm not doing this. Class mailer. Okay, and our mailer has to have that function send message method, email. Okay, let's just make it clear. It's an email address. Okay, so let's name it mailer PHP. Okay, and just put in a comment. Okay, put in call to mail function here, just to tell you that this is just being used as a mock object right now. There is no actual implementation. We're coaching the mock object, but eventually we will have to put something here to make it work actually. Okay, so now we make sure that quota reminder requires mailer. Require once mailer. Okay, and then for our test here, we tell our mock. Okay, first we have to require simple test mock objects PHP. Okay, otherwise mock objects won't work. Mock generate mailer. So this tells simple test that, hey, you expect there's a mailer class. I want you to create a mock mailer object that copies all the methods present in mailer. Okay, and that is how we can make use of mock mailer here. Okay, so we've saved everything. Let's see if it will work. Probably it won't. Okay, because we don't have a process user method yet for quota reminder. Okay, so quota reminder, let's say function process user user, and so mailer equals this like this mailer. Okay, and say mailer send message to our user. Okay, run again. Oh, okay, we don't have a mailer object yet for quota reminder. We have to change our constructor. Function quota reminder, and then mailer to use. Okay, so this is how we inject our dependency. Var mailer. Okay, and then we just say this mailer equals mailer to use. Okay, so we're injecting it here, and we're making use of it here in this process user. Refresh. Whoa, here we go. Mock method, send message. Okay. Oh, okay. So what happens is that fails with array 3 items because we're expecting a string, we're passing an array. Oh, okay.